What's up, engineering design kids?
Not
Show
much.
Techno coming at you here on a Monday morning with some fresh whole notes. We're going to create this whole note block or reproduce what you see on your screen. Now I have halved this or sectioned it so you can see the interior features. And the primary purpose of this is to use the whole note feature in Fusion to better understand section views as well as creating a working drawing that has these text leaders that call out the individual holes. Okay, so let's start from scratch. We are going to create a new drawing and create a sketch. Select a surface. And I'm going to hit R for rectangle because it's quicker.
Oh boy.
I'm going to go 1, tab, 3, enter. And I created a 1 inch by 3 inch square. I'm going to extrude 1 inch as well. So a 1 by 1 by 1, 3, 1 by 1 by 3 cube. I'm going to create a sketch on the top surface. And I'm going to hit the L for line key, find that midpoint. We see the triangle there. Very nice. And slide over, grab the other midpoint. Boom. It's just a sketch line. I want to use the point feature, and we haven't done this a lot, to create a few points in here. And I want to be on that line, but I don't necessarily want to grab midpoint because it's going to fix to that as a geometric constraint. I want to put in 4 points here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go dimension those points. And this is where I want to reference this drawing. So the points are 3/4 of an inch in, 1.5 inches, 2, and 2.5 inches. Dimension, center line, outside line, 0.75. Enter. If the audience could hold applause, please, until the end of the demonstration. Thank you.
What do you click to customize the dimension?
What do I click?
Is that
Nothing.
like-
Don't click anything. It's right now if I type, it'll enter the numbers. Everybody clicks again, and then they have to go double click on it, and it makes a big mess out of it. Oh, that's not right. That should be 2. 2, enter, and then I got one more here.
So then you just click again, and it's good? Okay.
2.5, enter. While I'm in sketch mode, is there questions in the back? Bakula, you have a question?
Yeah, he's actually talking about porn.
About what? Mason,
Yes.
you have a question?
So I was looking at your 3D model.
All right, because you're killing my demonstration here. In the sketch feature, we want to create holes because these points show up on here. So, hole. Select the point. I'm going to go isometric because it gives me a better view. My first hole on here is a counter bored hole. The reason I know that is because it has a counter bore symbol here. So I have a 9mm through hole diameter, 20mm diameter counter bore that has a depth of 7mm. That's how we'd read that. I need to do a counter bored hole. I got that. It's not tapped. It's just a through hole or a simple hole. And then my dimensions here. This is going to be 20mm. So even though it's a standard drawing, I can type in 20 mm. The depth of that was 7mm. And the diameter down here was 9mm. And this distance, 7.7, well, that's a little aggressive, but we can go 35mm. There's 25.4mm in an inch, so I know I'm going to clear that no problem. Now my points disappeared. So I've got to go back into this sketch, and that's not a big deal to do that again. Double click on it, and then I'm going to create another hole here. Select that point. And my second hole is a countersunk hole. The reason I know that is because the symbol countersink here, it says it's a 1/4 which means it's threaded, but the countersink has a diameter of 0.375, angle of 82.
I have no idea.
It sounds like Greek, right? But right here I've got counter bore. I just did that. Countersink is the type of hole. Is it tapped? Yes, it's a tapped hole, meaning it has threads. And I then just have to tell it, well, the diameter across the top of the countersink is 0.375. That's correct. And the hole size is a 1/4 inch or 0.25. I've got to convert the decimal back and forth. And the thread designation is 1/4 Where am I finding this? Again, from this hole note right here is where I'm seeing it. 1/4 threads, countersink diameter of 0.375. I'm basically transposing the information into Fusion. All that's good. The last thing I can check here is modeled. The 3D extruded print that I did, I checked modeled, and it'll actually try to make the threads. Not super accurate when it gets down to it. I'll click OK. And my second hole is done. Okay. Third hole now shows up there for whatever reason, so I can go to create, and maybe it just is smart after this point. Choose a third hole. This one's simpler yet. It's just a 1/4 20 UNC through hole. So it's a threaded through hole. So in this case, I want a simple hole type. It is going to be tapped or threaded. I don't have to worry about thread offset. That's a little more complex. Flat would mean if it was like a blind hole or not all the way through. And then this depth is all the way through. I've covered there. The size is already defaulted to 0.25. And my options here, 1/4 20. 1/4 28 would be that fine thread. 1/4 20, modeled, okay. Last one is going to be a little different. It's a number 1032 fine thread that goes all the way through, and it's got a counter bore with a diameter of 0.3125 that has a depth of 0.200. Counterbored hole, that's the type I want. Let's move this over so we can see it happen. With threads, counterbore diameter is 0.3125. The depth, 0.200. And the size, this is kind of cool. It knows like the gauge numbers, so I can choose number 10. Mason, second time. But I don't want 1024, I want 1032. And click OK. So it's going to create all 4 of these for me. Now the last thing I have to specify in here in the working drawing, this is hard to pick up, but, oh, let me zoom in here. Bottom right-hand corner, the radius of the corners, 0.031 inches, all exterior edges. So I want to round off these corners, and I don't think I need any other features in the drawing, but I do need to radius those corners. So what tool might I use to do that? I think I will use a fillet. F key for fillet and start selecting edges. Now I could drag a box, but it would grab all the edges of my holes as well. Like I could fillet that. I don't want to do that necessarily. Just the exterior edges of the box. See if I made it all the way around here. Oop, missed one on the bottom. I've got them all selected. We said 0.031. 0.03125 is actually a fraction, a nominal fraction. Anybody know what it is?
1/8.
What?
1/8.
That's a good guess. An eighth is 0.125. A 16th, 0.0625. What would it would be a 32nd of an inch as a fraction.
Obviously.
Well, just not bad to play with those numbers in your head once in a while. I've got this done, but you know what I haven't done yet to this point is save it. And it would be a bad thing to lose that. So I'm going to save this as whole note block third attempt. Because I've done this 3 times now. And I will click save. Next step is to bring it into a working drawing and create a section view. So from this design, new drawing from design, I'll go A size sheet because it'll fit on there and click OK. And my working drawing is going to look like this. Whoa. But how do I get it to look like this? We're not going to do all of this at once or at one time here. However, we will do most of it. Front view, I would say we want to start actually with a top view in this case to show these holes because we're going to section this. And our scale, instead of half, let's go 2:1. Whoa.
That's 1.
Yeah, okay. Maybe 1.5:1. Do they have it? I don't see it.
1 to 50.
You think 1 to 1, huh? That's kind of small, but all right, we'll try it. 1 to 1. And I need to zoom in here. I need to get rid of this ugly title block. Ugh. And I'm going to create a section view right away. So review on the section view creation. Section view right here. Choose the object to section. Then choose the points to section. Triangle for midpoint. Another triangle here. And then I'm just going to hit enter on my keyboard. I don't know why it's a little glitchy. It's like, oh, select more stuff. No, just enter. And then that should drop down here and I get this beautiful section view to see the interior details. And choose OK.
What is mine?
I hear the crowd's anticipation. It's growing. They can't contain themselves. How to do the leader text? Okay, escuchas class, please. Thank you. Class. Hafner,
Class A.
you and Mason, you're toxic for each other.
I was trying to know where the section view was.
Oh.
Tell them to come up here.
You're actually directly instructing somebody else.
See, you always yell at me. I swear it's them.
No, I was asking where it was.
You guys are really exposed.
The section line's right down the middle here, so we get to view it as a full section. How to dimension these though? We can't just hit the D. If we hit the D key, all it's going to do is give us a diameter dimension. Then we have to go and change this, so it's kind of a pain. I would say don't do that. Use this. We haven't done this before. Use leader text. Then choose this first hole. Place it out in a neutral space, up left. And now we can start typing. And we're referencing, we unfortunately can't copy paste, but we're referencing, oh, come on. Whoa, PDF's struggling. Everything's struggling today. Schoology is 502 gateway. This is the hole note right here. 9mm through hole. Counter bore of 20 millimeters that has a depth of 7 millimeters. That's how we could know what that hole looks like without even looking at this view. If that makes sense. Or having to fully dimension it. So I've got to type all that stuff in. I need a diameter symbol, first of all. That's kind of cool. Of 9 mm. And I don't know why I have to go click over here in order to type, but I do. 9 mm through. And we type it like that. Return, like paragraph. And now I need another symbol, counter bore, and diameter, because the diameter of the counter bore is 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters, and it has a depth, which I need another symbol for, of 7 millimeters. Got to go back and click in the window again. Dumb. 7 millimeters. Boom. Might want to move it around a little bit. I'm going to escape to get out of that and get that square so I can move it and shift it up here. Let's see how we're doing placement-wise. Oh, plenty of room because we went 1 to 1. Good suggestion. That's one of them. Another one, leader text.
So much real estate.
Boom. Quarter 20, so 1-4 inch dash 20. Quarter 20 means that's the threads. UNC, United National Course. Countersink, I need a symbol for that. Diameter, another symbol. 0.375. Times 82 and one more symbol here. Degrees. Escape. Got to move it around a little bit. There is some dimensions that you need to put on this view, which would be the placement and spacing of the holes. So I'm going to center mark these holes up. Oh, it doesn't want to select because it's threaded. There. There. And I want to dimension the centers of these holes with the edges because I need to know where to drill them. 0.75. 1.5. Nice staggered dimensions. Well staggered. Might have to make some more real estate here on the page. Maybe move my section view down. These don't exactly want to move easily because Fusion's struggling right now. It's just a lot for it to handle. It's really glitchy. Come on, move, Fusion. Well, I'll tell you it works, and I can prove it by showing you the finished product here. So dimension the locations of the holes. Put callouts for each one. I put a general dimension for the radius. And then these two holes here are just specifically for the block that I built. You don't have to worry about those. They're not in your drawing. Do I have to put the Sartell S in there? Yes, it looks nice. Put it in there. And then, how do you put it in? You add an image to your working drawing. Well, I gave it to you a couple times. It's on Schoology. Where else do you want me to put it?
Well, I mean, if you have Schoology, but like, put it in the updates. So that not work.
Updates is so temporary. You need to save it on your computer so you can find it.
Put it in the updates today, and then I'll save it, and I'll be there. Well, like Schoology isn't working though, so.
Right. So here's the Sartell logo. Open. Just insert it in there.
Are we supposed to put that in our other things?
It looks nice. Yes, put it in there. You're going to want that logo. We want the branding.
But I couldn't, like, I don't have it.
I don't have it.
Is there going to be doc points for marking?
Am I going to lose points? It's classic. Am I going to get a C?
Put it in there for this one.
It looks nice. So I can post it in updates. I can share it in Google Drive. We can email it. Maybe we'll find a way to get it to you. Any other questions before I stop the recording? What did I miss? What do you do with this when you're done? You output a PDF. I didn't even save this yet. It's gonna be like, it's untitled. It's called Untitled. I'm gonna call it Joe Schulte whole note block. Export it to my downloads. Then I upload it to Schoology to the bad gateway discussion. To the active discussion in Schoology, which is no longer functioning right now. And scene.